I am Lakshman Singh, lecturer in physics, working at GPT, Medchal, Government Polytechnic, Medchal. In previous class, we have been discussed about the isothermal and adiabatic process, and we have been discussed about the differences of isothermal and adiabatic process. So, what is isothermal process? The process in which a system is physically undergoes to be changes. The changes may occur in pressure and volume, but the temperature of the system is remains constant is called isothermal process. If the system is compressibility isothermally means the gas is compressed by means of moving a piston towards to inside the system. Then the pressure is increases, volume of the system is increases. As a result, temperature also increases. This increased temperature is shared with the surrounding and comes into the that temperature is remains constant, means the temperature is comes into the equilibrium position with the surrounding. This phenomenon is called isothermal compression. If the temperature is if the gas is expansive, then automatically yeah if the gas is expanded isothermally means the by means of the means the piston is move outside from the system along the direction of a pressure. Then the pressure is decreases, then volume of the system is increases. As a result, the temperature is decreases. This decreased temperature can be absorbed the heat energy from their surrounding and comes into the thermally equilibrium with their surrounding. Means the temperature of the system is remains constant. This phenomenon is called isothermal expansion. And in isothermal process, we have to use thermally good conducting material, like the system and surroundings are made of with a thermally good conductors. And this process can occurs slowly means it is a slow process. In the case of a adiabatic process, the adiabatic process means it is a process at which the system is undergoes to be physically changes in pressure, volume and temperature, but the heat energy of the system is remains constant is called adiabatic process. In this adiabatic process, so in adiabatic process generally we have to use a thermally bad conductor means thermally insulating materials, and it is this process can be occurs quickly means it is a quick process. And today we are going to discuss about the specific heat of a gas. So specific heat of a gas means so on completion of this period we are able to understand definition of a specific heat of a gas, and a specific heat of a gas at a constant volume and constant pressure, and molar specific heat of a gas. And also we have to discuss and previous class we have been discussed about the external work done, internal energy, and isothermal process and explanation, adiabatic process and explanation, and also we have discussed first law of thermodynamic and their applications. So according to the first law of thermodynamics, the first law of thermodynamics mm, says that the quantity of heat is supplied to the system is equal to the algebraic sum of the increases in internal energy and external work done by the system. And today we are going to discuss about the what is specific heat? So specific heat means why the water is why the water is require longer time either to be cooled or heated to a higher temperature, and which gas can have greater specific heat. Why sea breeze takes place during why sea breezes taken place during nights, and specific heat of the substances like solid and liquid we are going to discuss now. The quantity of heat is required to rise in its temperature. So generally here the quantity of heat energy to absorbed or released by a substance is Q is depends upon mass of the substance. So the specific heat of a substances like solid and liquid is depends upon, so the quantity of heat energy is absorbed or released by a substances is Q. This Q is depends upon mass of the substances, change in temperature of the substances, and nature of the substances. So here mass of the substances like we have taken here either 1 gram of a gas or 1 gram mole of a gas, and change in temperature means either we decreases in temperature through 1 degree centigrade or increases in temperature through 1 degree centigrade, and nature of the substances are either it is a liquid or gases or solid substances. So specific heat of a substances the means the quantity of heat energy is either required or released by a substance is Q is depends upon mass of the substance, change in temperature of the substance, and nature of a substance. And it is found that the quantity of heat is Q is proportional to the M, and the quantity of heat is directly proportional to the change in temperature, like a changes in temperature, and the quantity of heat energy is directly proportional to the, means here proportionality constant is C. Here C is called specific heat of a gas, specific heat of a gas. So that here generally here the amount of heat energy is required to rises in temperature of a gas through 1 degree centigrade is called specific heat of a gas. So here that is delta theta means it is the changes in temperature. So Q is depends upon to the mass of a substance, Q is depends upon to the change in temperature of a substances, then Q is directly proportional to the M into delta T, and at the place of proportionality symbol we have to write a mention one constant. That constant is called proportionality constant, that is called specific heat of a substance. So here Q is equal to C into M into delta T. Here C is the specific heat of a gas. By cross multiplying here, so Q is equal to MC into delta T. By cross multiplying here 1 C is equal to 1 by M into Q divided by delta T, delta T. For 1 gram of mole of a gas or for 1 gram of a substance, C M is equal to 1, then automatically delta theta is equal to 1, means the rise in temperature is equal to 1 degree centigrade. then automatically the amount of heat energy is equal to specific heat of a gas. So the basic statement of a specific heat of a gas is the amount of heat energy is required to a substance of unit mass of a gas to raise its temperature through 1 degree centigrade is called a specific heat of a gas or specific heat of a substance. So specific heat is the amount of energy. That's why it is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Once again, I am saying that the definition of a specific heat of a gas, the amount of heat energy, the amount of heat energy is required to rises in the amount of heat energy is required to a substance of 1 unit mass of a gas to rise its temperature through 1 degree centigrade through 1 degree centigrade. Okay, the amount of heat energy is required by a substance of unit mass of a substance to raise its temperature through 1 degree centigrade is called specific heat of a substance. And specific heat is a scalar quantity, and the effect of pressure is negligible on solid and liquids. So the change in volume is negligible in the case of a solid and a liquid when the pressure is changes. Solid and liquids have only one specific heat unit and dimensional formula of a specific heat of a gas. So the specific heat of a gas of a CGS unit is calorie per gram per degree centigrade, and MKS unit or SI unit of a specific heat of a gas substances is kel, uh, kilogram. No, no, it is Kelvin d delta Q by delta Q. Okay, it is joule per kilogram per Kelvin inverse. It is the SI unit of a specific heat of a gas, and dimensional formula is m naught m0 L2 T minus 2 into Kelvin inverse. It is the dimensional formula of a specific heat of a gas. So the unit and dimensional formula of a specific heat is CGS unit is calorie per gram per degree centigrade, and SI unit of a specific heat of a gas is joule per kilogram into Kelvin inverse, and dimensional formula of a specific heat of a gas substances is m0L2 T minus 2 into Kelvin inverse. And the effect of pressure on the gas is considerable. So in the volume of the gas is undergoes to changes when pressure is changes. Therefore, specific heat should be considered for gases a constant pressure and a constant volume. The type of specific heat are two types for a constant volume and a constant pressure. So a specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, and another is specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. So the specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure is denoted with Cp, and a specific heat of a gas at a constant volume is denoted with Cv. And specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, we have defined now specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, that is at a constant pressure, the quantity of heat energy is required to unit mass of a gas, so as to raise its temperature by unit is defined as specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure. At a constant pressure. So at constant pressure, the quantity of heat, like the amount of heat energy, is required to unit mass of a gas to raise its of temperature through 1 degree centigrade, like unit is called specific heat of a gas at constant pressure. And specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure is given by Cp. So generally the amount of heat is required is denoted with dq, and the amount and then the rise in temperature of a gas through 1 degree centigrade means changes in temperature of a gas is denoted with dt, and the amount of the gas, like mass of the gas, is denoted with m. So that here generally dq is proportional to the m and dq is proportional to the dt. So that here dq is proportional to the m into dt, and dq is equal to cp into d m into dt. And by cross multiplying here, by cross multiplying, d cp is equal to 1 divided by m into dq by dt. It is the formula for specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, that is cp is equal to 1 divided by m into delta qp divided by delta t. Here qp is denoted the heat energy is supplied to the system by maintaining pressure is remains constant. And another statement is specific heat of a gas at constant volume. So specific heat of a gas at constant volume, it is simply defined as it is also same as at a constant volume. At a constant volume, the amount of heat energy is required to unit mass of a gas or mass of a substances to raise its of temperature through 1 degree centigrade is called specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. It is same formula is same as specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, and instead of P we have to write a V, that is CV is equal to that is CV is equal to that is CV is equal to CV is equal to 1 by m into delta q divided by delta t. It is the formula for, so here CV is equal to 1 by m into delta q divided by delta t. Delta q by delta t is called specific heat of a gas. Next we have to discuss another Cp and Cv are scalar quantities. Cp and Cv are same both unit and dimension. Cp and Cv are scalar quantities and Cp and Cv are having same units and dimension, like Cp and Cv are same both in units and dimension. So unit for Cp and Cv are Celsius unit is calorie per gram per degree centigrade, and MKUS unit is kilocalories kilogram per degree centigrade, and a SI system of a specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and constant volume is joule into kilogram per kilogram into degrees Kelvin inverse. And dimensional formula of the both of Cp and Cv are m0 L2 T minus 2 into Kelvin inverse. And we have defined the molar specific heat of a gas, and the molar specific heat of a gas are also two types. One is the molar specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, and the molar specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. Now we have defined here molar specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure. Instead of a taking mass in the definition of a Cp and Cv, we have to take the at the place of unit mass of a gas, we have to take 1 gram mole of an gas, 1 gram mole of an ideal gas. So that we have to define here molar specific heat of a gas. So instead of taking mass in definition of Cp and Cv, if a number of moles is considered, the specific heat of the gas Cp and Cv get changed to the molar specific heat of a gas. And the molar specific heat of a gas are also divided into two types. One is the molar specific heat at a constant pressure, molar specific heat at a constant volume, that is capital Cp and a capital C into V, C specific C suffix V. So molar specific heat of a gas at constant pressure is denoted with the capital C suffix P. So that here its definition is very simple. At a constant pressure, the amount of heat energy is required to 1 gram mole of an ideal gas to rise its of temperature through 1 degree centigrade is called molar specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure, and it is denoted with capital C suffix P. And another type of specific heat of a gas is molar specific heat of a gas at a constant volume, and it is also given by the at a constant volume the amount of heat energy is required for 1 gram mole of an ideal gas to rise its of temperature through 1 degree centigrade is called molar specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. That is Cp and Cv is equal to heat energy at a constant pressure all divided by amount of substance is moles into rise in temperature delta T. That is Qp divided by N into delta T, and Qp is the supplied heat energy by maintaining pressure is remains constant. That is Cp is equal to 1 divided by N into delta Q suffix P divided by delta T. Cp and Cv both are so molar specific heat of a gas at constant pressure and constant volume, both are scalar quantities, and those two are carries same units and at same dimensions. That is Cgs unit is calorie per mole per degree centigrade, MKS unit is kilocalories into mole inverse into degree centigrade, and SI unit of a specific heat of a gas at molar specific heat of a gas at constant pressure and constant volume are joule into mole inverse into Kelvin inverse. And dimensional formula is m1 L2 T minus 2 into Kelvin inverse. and here Cp is always greater than Cv for gases. So at constant pressure the amount of heat energy is required to gas is partially used for increasing internal energy and partially used for doing external work done according to the first law of thermodynamic. So at constant pressure, the amount of heat energy required by a gas is completely spent into increases in internal energy. So according to the first law of thermodynamic, the amount of heat energy is supplied to the system by maintaining volume is remains constant. Means volume is remains constant means no displacement be uh, no displacement of a piston either towards or outside from the system. If the displacement is zero, means volume is remains constant, means a change in volume is equal to zero. As a result, external work done by the system or on the system is equal to zero. That's why the total supplied heat energy is utilized by the system only to rises in temperature. As a result, increases in internal energy of a system. If the heat energy is supplied to the system by maintaining a pressure is remains constant, then automatically a part of energy is utilized to do work done and remaining part of energy is utilized to increases in internal energy. So in these two cases, by using these two cases, we have to define here specific heat of a gas, and so the differences between the specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and a specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. So more heat energy is required by a gas at a constant pressure in comparison with the heat energy required by a gas at a constant volume for the same rise in temperature. So the differences between the Cp and Cv both are same because of they have to use in this instant pressure is keeping constant at Cp and volume is remains constant at Cv. In the case of a gas, the Cp value is always greater than Cv and Cv is less than Cp generally. At constant pressure, the heat energy is supplied to the system by maintaining uh, pressure is constant, means a part of energy is to rises in internal energy, remaining part of energy to increases in sorry remaining part of energy to do work done. And in the case of a Cv, the heat energy is supplied to the system by maintaining volume is remains constant. The entire energy is utilized by the system only to increases in internal energy. So these are the specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and a specific heat of a gas at a constant volume and a molar specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and a constant volume. The SI unit of a molar specific heat of a gas at a constant volume is same as Joule into mole inverse into Kelvin inverse. And Cp value is always greater than Cv. So option C is correct. So generally the frequently asked questions are define specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and define specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. So this is a specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. And today we are going to discuss another topic, that is what is the second law of thermodynamics. Up to this we have to discuss about the specific heat of a gas at constant pressure and the specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. So now we are going to discuss about the second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics. In first law of thermodynamics already we discussed. Okay, so in up to this we have discussed about the specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure and specific heat of a gas at a constant volume. And now we are going to discuss about the second law of thermodynamic. On completion of this period, we are able to understand the second law of thermodynamic and their applications, and application of second law of thermodynamic. So, in first law of thermodynamic, what says by the first law of thermodynamic means the amount of heat energy is yeah. Okay, the heat energy is supplied to a system is equal to the sum of increases in internal energy of the system and external work done by the system is called first law of thermodynamic. So, the heat energy, the amount of heat energy is supplied to a system is equal to algebraic sum of the increases in internal energy of the system and external work done by the system is called first law of thermodynamic. That is, dq heat energy is supplies to the system is equal to increases in internal energy is du and external work done by the system is dw. That is, dq is equal to du plus dw. It is the first law of thermodynamic. And the second law of thermodynamic has been defined into two scientists. So generally, according to the Kelvin statement, we have defined one statement, and according to the Clausius statement, we have defined another statement, that is okay. Second law of thermodynamic statement is heat by itself does not flow from a body at a lower temperature into the a body at a higher temperature. A higher temperature heat by itself does not flow from a body at a lower temperature into a body at a higher temperature unless any external agency does some work on the system, that is external energy is supplied. So according to the first law of thermodynamic, generally the first law of thermodynamic does not says the flow of heat energy, the direction of flow of a heat energy. And the zeroth law of thermodynamics says that the heat energy may flow from a body at a higher temperature into a body at a lower temperature. And irrespective of any other external agency, external devices, or external aid, the heat energy does not flow from a body at a lower temperature into a body at a higher temperature. So, the statement of Kelvin, the Kelvin statement. So, is defined the Kelvin statement is says that any self-acted mission does not transfer the heat energy from a body at a lower temperature into a body is at a higher temperature unless any other external agency is called a Kelvin statement. And the another statement of a second law of thermodynamic is, so second law of thermodynamic is started into different ways. Clausius statement, it is simply defined as, so it is the Clausius statement. It says that it is impossible for a self-acting mission for the heat to flow from a body at a lower temperature to a body at a higher temperature Without the aid of external agency or heat cannot be itself flow from a body, from a cold body into the hot body, is called a Clausius statement. It is a, it is the one part of a second law of thermodynamics. So the second law of thermodynamics having two statements. One is the Clausius statement, another is the Kelvin statement. According to the Clausius statement, it is impossible for a self-acting machine to transfer the heat energy from a body at a lower temperature into a body at a higher temperature without aid of external agency, or heat energy cannot be flow itself from a cold body into the hot body. And Kelvin says that it is impossible to drive a continuous supply of heat energy by cooling a body below the coldest of its surrounding. Means without supplying heat energy to the sink. Generally, in a heat engine, we have to consider we having a one hot reservoir. Hot reservoir, it is the source of a heat energy, and it can be exert the heat energy to the working substance, and working substance can be utilizes only 70 percentage of heat energy to do work, and remaining 30 percentage of heat energy is supplies to the sink like a cold reservoir. So without supplying a 30% or 20% of heat energy to the cold reservoir, the heat engine does not perform work. So the amount of energy is required, so the amount of energy is utilized by the heat engine to perform a work is only 70%. So according to the Kelvin statement, there is no 100 percentage of efficiency of a heat engine is not there in the society, in the world. So it is very impossible to drive a continuous supply of a heat energy by cooling a body below the coldest of its surrounding. This is the statement of Kelvin statement of the second law of thermodynamics. And the application of second law of thermodynamics is a refrigerator is essentially a heat engine which works backward, and a refrigerator is a device based on the application of a second law of thermodynamics. So in this refrigerator, the heat energy may flow from a body at a colder reserve, cold means here low temperature into high temperature. And the another application of second law of thermodynamics is the formation of the second law of thermodynamics is due to discovery of heat engine and their application to various industrial purpose. And Carnot theorem is of fundamental importance to the formation of a second law of thermodynamics. Carnot established the possibility of the perfectly reversible heat engine capable of performing reversible cycle, and showed that no engine is more efficient than the perfectly reversible engine. And another application of the second law of thermodynamics is as a consequence of second law, a property is called entropy and is discovered, and the main statement of the entropy is that increases in disorderness of a molecules. Means entropy does not having a perfect statement, but we have defined only changes in entropy. So the changes in entropy is defined as the amount of change in heat energy into the change in temperature is called entropy, it is called change in entropy. It is denoted with the delta S. So the entropy means it is the very simple logically meaning of entropy is that increases in or the changes in disorderness of a molecule. So why the disorderness establishes in a system means due to supplying heat energy to the system. As a result, the temperature of the system is increases. If the temperature of the system is increases, the intermolecule, the distance between the intermolecules also increases. As a result, the interaction between the molecule and the collision be taken place. That's why the disorderness is increases due to the continuous supplying of a heat energy to the system and increases in temperature of a system is called entropy. Second law of thermodynamic may be applied to the effect of pressure on the boiling and melting point of the substances. So this is the today's class. In this today class we have been discussed about the specific heat of a gas and molar specific heat of a gas and type of specific heat of a gases are Cp and Cv, and also we have defined here second law of thermodynamic. And second, in this second law of thermodynamic we have two statement. One is the Clausius statement, another is the Kelvin statement. According to the second law of thermodynamics says that the heat by itself does not flow from a body. The heat, second law of thermodynamic of statement is the main original statement with irrespective of Kelvin and Clausius statement is heat by itself does not flow from a body at a lower temperature to body at a higher temperature unless any external agency does some work on the system, and that is external energy is supplied. And the another statement of a, so the second law is stated that into different ways. One is the Clausius statement, another is the Kelvin statement. According to the Clausius statement, it is impossible for the self-acting machine and to transfer the heat energy from a body at a lower temperature into a body at a higher temperature without any external agency, or heat cannot be itself flow from a cold body into the hot body. Cold body into the hot body is called a Clausius statement. And another statement of a second law of thermodynamics is, so the Kelvin statement is it is impossible to drive a continuous supply of heat energy by a cooling body below the coldest of its surrounding. For example, just we have to discuss now, just it is okay, just to consider it is a hot reservoir. This hot reservoir can exert the heat energy, and here one working substance is there. This working substance is W and hot reservoir is Q1. So Q1 is the hot reservoir can exert the heat energy to the system, to the working substance. Then working substance utilized by this heat energy into, that is Q1 minus Q2. Here remaining Q2 energy is rejected to the sink, rejected into sink. The sink is a cold reservoir. Sink is a cold reservoir. So the heat engine is working based on to the second law of thermodynamic. In this second law of thermodynamic, it is every self-acted mission. It is impossible to drive continuously without supplying heat energy to the cold reservoir. Means the efficiency of the heat engine is equal to neta. Neta is equal to q2 minus q1, sorry, so the working substance is W is equal to q2 minus q1, and the efficiency of the heat engine is equal to q2 minus q1 all divided by that is q1 minus q2, so q1 minus q2 all divided by q1 all divided by q1, that is 1 minus q2 by q1, and it is the percentage of a efficiency of a heat engine. So the percentage of efficiency of the heat engine is equal to only 80%. Okay, it is the Kelvin statement for the second law of thermodynamic. And the application of thermodynamic is a refrigerator is essentially a heat engine which works background, and a refrigerator is a device based on the application of second law of thermodynamic. And another application of thermodynamic is the formation of a second law of thermodynamic is due to the discovery of the heat engine and their applications to various industrial purpose. And another application is the Carnot theorem is for a fundamental importance to the formation of a second law of thermodynamic. And Carnot established a possibility to perfectly reversible heat engine capable to performing reversible cycle and showed that no engine is more efficient than the perfectly reversible engine. It is the second main important application of the second law of thermodynamics. And another application of the second law of thermodynamics is as a consequence of second law a property called entropy is discovered. The second law of thermodynamics may be applied to the effect of pressure on the boiling and melting point of the substances. So in this class we have to discuss second law of thermodynamics, application of second law of thermodynamics. And refrigerator is a device is based on the application of a second law of thermodynamics. And another question, so the frequently asked questions are state second law of thermodynamics, state the application of second law of thermodynamics, distinguish between the first law and second law of thermodynamics, and state the laws of thermodynamics. So it is today's class. In next class we have to discuss another topic, that is completed. Okay, just please note this first law of thermodynamics. Once again I am saying that the heat energy is supplied to the system is equal to sum of the increases in internal energy of the system and external work done by the system, that is dq is equal to du plus dw. And second law of thermodynamics is heat is itself does not flow from a body at a lower temperature into the a body at a higher temperature unless on any external agency. And it having two statement, one is the Kelvin statement and a Clausius statement. So Clausius statement is says that it is impossible for a self-acting machine to transfer the heat energy from a body at a lower temperature into a body at a higher temperature without aid of external agency, or heat cannot be flow from a cold body into the hot body. And the final important statement of the second law of thermodynamics is Kelvin statement. It is impossible to drive a continuous supply of heat energy by a cooling body below the coldest of its surrounding. It is the second law of thermodynamics. In next class we discuss, that is important question, very 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 most important question. Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Okay, thank you one and all.